Good morning. Hello, good morning, everyone. Nice to be with you all again this morning. I thought we might start in a seated position this morning, but of course you can always lie down if you're really low on energy or not feeling 100%. And if you have a block, it would be great if you could pop that next to your mat. If you don't have a block, doesn't matter. You might even like to grab a book or two. That's optional. So we'll start in a seated position if possible, and just making sure that your spine is nice and tall and long. Just relaxing the shoulders. So just taking these first few moments to arrive, to gather what you need for your practice, and then to sit quietly. Perhaps starting to sigh the breath away 2 or 3 times. So let's start off with a little bit of breathing together. Breathing in through the nose and then exhaling through pursed lips, or perhaps even making an audible sighing sound. Softening the skin of the face. Letting everything slow down, become a little quieter. And you might like to imagine now that you can breathe in through the crown of your head. Take the breath, your awareness to your heart space, a little pause. And then as you exhale, you send the breath, you send your awareness down through the body and deep into Mother Earth. So as though there's a stream or channel of light, breath flowing down from the sky in through the crown of your head. Take that awareness to your heart, a little pause. And then exhaling, send the breath, send that light down through the body and deep into Mother Earth. So let's work with this for a minute or so. Starting to feel a little more solid on the earth, feeling our connection with the earth, a little more stable. And also allowing the breath to be long and slow, smooth and steady. Inhaling through the crown, taking the breath to your heart, and then sending the breath down through the body into the earth. It's a great practice to help anchor us in this present moment. And then leave the practice and just notice how you are feeling this morning. Notice what's going on in the body. Notice your thoughts, the quality of your thoughts, your feelings, and also how you are feeling energy-wise this morning. without attaching any judgment. Last week, I was reading an interesting book by Glennon Doyle called Untamed, which, thank you, Helen, lent me. And I came across a paragraph that captured my attention. So I thought I'd share it with you this morning. We hurt people and we are hurt by people. We feel left out, envious, not good enough, sick and tired. We have unrealized dreams and deep regrets. We are certain that we are meant for more and that we don't even deserve what we have. We feel ecstatic and then numb. We wish our parents had done better by us. We wish we could do better by our children. We betray and we are betrayed. We lie and we are lied to. We say goodbye to animals, to places, to people we cannot live without. We are so afraid of dying, also of living. We have fallen in love and out of love, and people have fallen in love and out of love with us. We wonder if what happened to us that night will mean we can never be touched again without fear. We live with rage bubbling. We are sweaty, bloated, gassy, oily. We love our children. We long for children. We do not want children. We are at war with our bodies, our minds, our souls. We are at war with one another. We wish we'd said all those things while they were still here. They're still here, and we're still not saying those things. We know we won't. We don't understand ourselves. We don't understand why we hurt those we love. We want to be forgiven. We cannot forgive. We don't understand God. We believe. We absolutely do not believe. We are lonely. We want to be left alone. We want to belong. We want to be loved. We want to be loved. We want to be loved. To me, there's a lot of gold in this paragraph, but overall, I feel that it's a good example of the mental anguish, stress, tension we may all experience at times, anxiety in different ways and to different degrees, and how this kind of thought process can keep looping endlessly if we let it. This kind of internal agitation and worry can be termed, or in yoga, in Sanskrit, is termed vritti. And if we recall the aim of yoga in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, Sutra 1.2, yoga chitta vritti nirodha. The aim of yoga is to still the movement or the fluctuations of the mind, of consciousness. Our yoga practice is designed to quieten this internal agitation and worry in body and mind. To help us arrive in this place, the ancient yogis suggested that we firstly work with yoga postures and also breathing practices. Because unlike Western psychological approaches, which tend to create a mind-body split and look at mental problems as having a separate identity to physical problems, yogis believe that when we work with fear-based problems, anxiety, trauma, stress, it's wise to begin by looking at the embodiment of a person. how each one of us connects to our body and to our breath. So I'd like to mention two important sutras from the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali this morning to guide our practice. Firstly, Sutra 2.46, Sthira Sukham Asanam. This sutra suggests that every yoga posture should have the qualities of Sthira and Sukham. Sthira meaning steady and alert, active, grounded, stable, strong. And Sukha meaning comfortable and soft, with some sense of ease and lightness, like effortless effort. The second sutra is Sutra 2.50, which suggests that our breathing should ideally have the qualities of dirgha and suksmah. Dirgha meaning long and deep, and suksmah meaning slow and smooth and pleasant. So as we practice together this morning, the invitation is going to be to turn inward and really feel into your body, aware of different bodily sensations and the messages those sensations are sending you, and also to keep connected with the breath, allowing the breath to slow down and be very smooth and calm. We're also going to incorporate the healing mantra Shantihi, meaning peace. So I thought we might actually begin with Shanti Mudra, or sometimes called the Peace Mudra. So I'm just going to come back to meet you on my mat. And if you are lying down, we do need to be sitting at this point. So we're going to work with 5 rounds of this, and we just begin with the hands in the lap. So one palm resting on top of the other palm. So we've still got a nice tall spine. You might have some support underneath the sit bones. You've got a block there, you might be sitting on the block or on a cushion or bolster. And as we exhale with this, we'll incorporate the chant Shantihi. So if you're not familiar with this, you can watch and join in as we go along. So let's exhale all breath. And then breathing in as we slowly draw the hands up through the center. When we get to the face, we take the arms out to the side and we chant back down. Shanti. So 4 more of these. Breathing in. Shanti. Let's keep going. Shanti. Shanti. Last one. Shanti. Sit quietly for a moment, noticing how you feel. Gently release. All right, let's stretch the legs out. Just going to remove my shawl. Stretching the legs out. Just going to start off with a little bit of work with our legs, our feet, and our knees and our hips. So first off, you might take the hands behind wherever it's comfortable. And we're just going to start by pointing and flexing the feet. Good, and then let's circle the feet. Nice slow circles. And release, reversing, sorry. Good, and then just have the feet to center. Just see if you can scrunch your toes. So just the toes, scrunch the toes, and then spread the toes wide. So we're scrunching and spreading the toes wide. Scrunch, spread. Let's do that a couple more times. Good. And then it doesn't matter which foot, but we're going to bring one foot up so that we can start now to massage that foot. So the tips of the toes, the balls of the toes, the arches of the feet, the very middle of the sole, the heel, noticing any particularly sore spots, lots of reflexology points on our feet. Good. And then I like to get a couple of fingers and just saw between each toe. If possible. Some of it might be a little bit tight. I'm trying to free up and create a little bit more space between each toe. In India, in the past, they used to get little bundles of twigs and stick them between students' toes. Don't know how long they keep them there for. Good, and then just make a little fist, and with your knuckles, just tap the sole of the foot. So good practices as the weather gets colder, those of us who tend to get cold feet, bring in some life into the lower part of the body, helping to improve circulation. Good, and then holding onto that foot, and we'll just bounce this knee a little bit, working into the hip joint, sitting up nice and tall, so it can be very easy here to start to slouch, rounding the back, keeping the other foot flexed, lengthening up through the crown top. Those of you who'd like to take this a little bit further, you can lift that foot up and cradle the knee and just start to take that leg from side to side. Otherwise, you just continue with this action. Good. And then let's just straighten that leg out, give the knee a little bit of a rub. And then we'll work the same with the other side. So first of all, we're just giving that foot a lovely little massage, pressing into the points on the bottom of the foot, arches, the heel, the center of the sole. Noticing any sore spots. Might like to look it up later on a reflexology chart. Good, and then using perhaps 2 fingers, we're soaring between each toe. Good, and then making a fist and with your knuckles, just tapping all over the foot. And then holding onto the foot, and we'll give that knee a little bit of a bounce, sitting up tall. Their straight leg is awake, flexing that foot. So there's awareness running through that straight leg. So again, we can continue this, or we can cradle the knee and work a little more deeply into that hip joint. Now, what's happened to the breath? Let's keep connected to our breath. Long, smooth inhalation and long, smooth exhalation. Good. And then let's carefully straighten that leg out, give the knee a little bit of a rub. Now, taking your hands just by your hips, let's see if we can lift just one leg off the floor, pushing out through the heel. Hold that for a second or two if you can. And then lower that foot down, that leg, and then see if you can lift the other leg up. Hold. What's happened to the shoulders? Relax the shoulders. Breathing and release. Give the legs a shake. So I thought we'd have a go at table. Those of you who find table really challenging, you might lie down and work with a few rounds of bridge instead. Otherwise, our feet are hip width, our hands are behind us, chest moving forward. So again, we're not collapsing and rounding the back here. And then when we're ready, as we inhale, we're lifting the buttocks off the floor, slowly lifting up. Any neck issues, we look along the body. Otherwise, we can drop the head to look up. And then as we exhale, slowly lowering. So on the inhalation, we lift up. And exhale, we lower. Work with the rhythm of your own breath here. Inhaling, we lift. Exhaling, lower. Now, whether you're doing bridge or working with table, we'll do 3 more. Or this time when you lift up, you've got the option of actually holding the pose if you prefer. Keep the breath flowing. Keep lifting the hips. Make sure you're not clenching the teeth. And then when you've had enough, we'll slowly come down. If you're in bridge, bring the knees into the chest and rock a little bit from side to side. Those of us who just did table, just sit comfortably, hold one forearm, and we'll make some nice slow circles with our hand working into the wrist joint. And reversing. Good, and then with the same hand, spread the fingers wide, make a fist. Wide, make a fist. Do that a few more times. Good, and then let's swap over. So first of all, we're circling the hand to the wrist. And reverse. Good, and then spread the fingers wide, make a fist. Keep going. Good, and release. Okay, let's bend the legs again. And if you are lying down, come up to sit now. We're going to work with boat, a couple of different variations. So first of all, we're going to hold on to the wrist or forearm underneath our knees. So again, we're sitting up nice and tall. Then we're going to start to lean back and just see if we can lift the feet up. So you might even just stay in a position like this morning. Some of you might be able to bring the legs up so that your lower legs are parallel to the floor. If you're feeling super energetic this morning, you might release your arms and have your forearms alongside the lower legs with the palms facing each other. Inner edge of the big toes touching. Face is soft. You might even have a little gentle smile on your lips. So again, you decide when you've had enough, and at that point, just lower the feet down and then take a little rest. All right, so we're going to work with a variation of boat, which I think all of you have worked with me before. It's really good for strengthening our core, our abdominal area. So we're going to cross one ankle over the other. Doesn't matter which one first. Taking the hands behind, and you can play around with where the fingers are pointing towards you or away. So as we inhale, we're going to lean back and see if we can straighten the legs. And as we exhale, we draw in. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, draw in. So we'll try 3 more. Straighten, draw in. Exhale, and 1 more. Good, and then just release for a moment. Take a breath or 2, and then we'll try the other side. So when you're ready, bring the other foot on top, hands behind. So as you inhale, straightening the legs. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, straighten. Exhale. 3 more if we can. When you finish, release and just have a little stretch forward for a moment. All right, we're going to slowly now come up to stand. And if you've got a block or a book, we're going to grab that now. It doesn't matter if you don't have any props, but if you do, I thought we'd have a little go at placing the block between our upper thighs. So something like this. So feet are hip width, toes are spread, and we're squeezing the book or the block between our upper thighs. Now, if you feel comfortable, you might like to close the eyes. Just relax your shoulders, and for a moment as we stand in Tadasana, we're looking for those qualities of Sthira and sukham. So a sense of being stable, strong, grounded. And at the same time, there's a sense of lightness and ease. So it's not all hard work. We've got to balance the strength, the effort with non-effort. Then you might like to turn the sides of the mouth up slightly. This can help us bring in that aspect of sukham, the lightness, the ease, the joy, feeling the connection with the earth beneath our feet, so we feel very stable, connected to earth energy. And again, let's come back to that breathing practice that we worked with earlier. We'll work with perhaps 5 or so rounds. So we're visualizing a channel or beam of light, energy, breath flowing down from the heavens in through the crown. We take that awareness to the heart. And on the exhalation, we send the breath, our awareness down through the body and into Mother Earth. So drawing the breath in through the crown, take it to the heart, a little pause. And exhale, send it down the legs, down into the earth. And soften the palms. So a few more breaths in this way. Also watching our breath, looking for the qualities of dirgha and suksmah. So the breath is long and slow and deep, but also very smooth and calm. Again, that sense of ease and a lightness in the breath. Let's release that breathing practice. We're going to work now again with our mantra Shantihi with an arm movement, keeping the block or the book there if we can. So we'll do 5 rounds of this. As we breathe in, let's raise the arms up above the head. Fingertips touch, and then we'll chant the arms back down. Shanti. Om. Shanti. Last one. Let's take a resting breath. And then let's just remove that block or book, and we'll try something a little bit different. Placing it on our head now. So soften the shoulders, toes are relaxed and long, not gripping the earth. Oops, that's okay. The eyes open or closed, whatever you can manage here. And feel as though you're pressing the crown of the head upward to support the block or the book, rather than that weight resting down heavily on your head. Let the breath flow. And if you'd like to take this a little bit further, we'll see if we can try a balance. So it's going to be quite challenging, but we'll shift the weight into the left foot and either hold on to the knee or just have your hands shoulder width apart on either side of that knee. So we're still lengthening up, nice tall spine. Shoulders softening down, the chest, the heart is open. We're not concaving the chest here. Breath is flowing. Good, and then carefully lower it down and straight to the other side. So either holding the knee or hands on either side, palms facing each other. Pressing the head up to touch the block or the book. Feel as though you're growing taller. And slowly release. Okay, just remove it for a moment. And again, it doesn't matter if you don't have anything on the top of your head. Come to the back of the mat. So again, with or without that block or book on your head, we're standing at the back of our mat, and we're going to see now if we can come onto the balls of the feet and walk along the mat, staying up on the balls of the feet. To the top, just turning around as best you can and walking back on the balls of the feet. Good. And then turning around when you get to the back. No hurry if you're going slow. Slow is better with this. Okay, and then we're going to try one more little challenge here. So when you're ready, we're going to come onto the heels, and just on the heels, walk along our mat. Turn and back. Okay, when you finish, just pop the block or the book down and come back to Tadasana. It's amazing how different it feels now. I feel actually a lot lighter. I wonder how you're feeling in the body. We're going to do a little bit of tapping, a bit more tapping. So we'll come down to the top of the right foot. Just start to tap all over the top of the foot and then come to the ankle, long legs all around, the knee, and your thigh all around, hip, and the buttock, roll back, and the abdomen on the right side, rib cage, chest, shoulder, upper back, and all the way down this right arm, and fingers, and coming back up, we'll go lightly over our neck and the jaw on the right side, the cheek, the ear, the temple, the forehead, top of the head, side, back, and then we'll swap over. Forehead, temple, ear, cheek, jaw, neck, upper back, shoulder, armpit, all the way down this arm to your hand, sides of the hand, and the chest, rib cage, down the left thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, and the top of the foot. Good. Come up and we'll do a little bit of bouncing. So a little bend in the legs as you start to bounce and shake and perhaps sway. Releasing some of that stress, that tension, that worry, agitation that accumulates within us. Sending it down into the earth. Good, and then just slowing that movement down. And we'll work with 3 Sthira movers. So take the legs a little wider apart, deep breath in, stretch the arms up. And then blowing the breath out through the mouth. So 2 more, breathe in. And let it all go. And again. And then just slowly start to come up. Roll the shoulders up and down the back. And let's bring our legs together. Little bend, hands onto the knees, and we'll do some little rotations for our knees. And reversing. And release, give the legs a little bit of a shake. So a bit more hip opening work. So we're going to take the hands onto the hips, have the feet quite close together, and we'll start by shifting the weight into the left foot as we breathe in and pick up this right leg. So we're still standing tall, lengthening up through the crown top. As we exhale, we're taking that knee out to the side. On the next inhale, we take it behind and exhale, lower the foot down. And then we reverse. So same leg, inhale, lift it up. Exhale, inhale in front and exhale down. So let's try the other side now. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale behind and lower. Lifting the leg up to the side, in front and down. So we'll do 2 more to each side. Just watch the breath. So again, looking for those qualities of dirgha and suksmah. One more to each side. Raise the hands and again take a resting breath. So we're going to work with two of Thich Nhat Hanh's mindful movements, beginning with his Warrior One variation. So take the legs a little wider apart and turn the left toes around, and then both hands just rest on the thighs. I thought we'd come back to our chant of Shanti here. So we're going to do 5 of these, and with each exhalation we'll chant as we're lowering the arm. So we're turning to look to the left, exhaling all breath. As we breathe in, we're going to bend the left leg as we raise the left arm up. You might watch the fingers as you raise the arm, and then we chant the arm back down. Shanti. So 4 more of these. And last one. Let's turn the legs around. So hands rest on the thighs. Turning to the right now. Exhale all breath. Breathing in, bending the right leg. Shanti. Shanti. 3 more. Shanti. Shanti. Last one. Shanti. Take a breath. Bring the legs in. This time your heels are touching, toes are turned out, hands onto the hips. We're going to do Thich Nhat Hanh's mindful squat. So when you're ready, as we inhale, we're lifting up onto the balls of the feet. And as we exhale, we're coming down to squat. You might just stay here. Just try to keep those shoulders relaxed. You might come down a bit lower, and then inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. So just work with this at your own pace. You might do 8, you might do 10, you might do 5. Just keep connected to your breath. Make sure you're not tensing the face or the teeth, the tongue, more relaxed in the mouth. When you've had enough, you'll just release your heels. If you're still going, feel free to do another 2 or 3. When you finish though, you can just shake it out. And preparing for one more standing pose before we come back down to the mat. So legs are wide. We're going to turn the left toes around again. And we're moving into warrior 2. So just relax the shoulders, open the heart. And when you're ready, breathe in, raise the arms, turn to the left. And as we exhale, we're bending the left leg. Coming into our beautiful Virabhadrasana 2. Option always to rest that back hand or even both hands on your hips, if that's better for your shoulders. Otherwise, your arms are in a straight line. Shoulders are relaxed. And we're gazing along that left middle finger. Imagining someone's gently tugging us back by that right wrist. So we're not doing this, leaning over the bent leg. Ideally, our spine is in Tadasana position here. Breathing. Looking always for those qualities of Sthira and sukham. So feeling very stable, connected to the earth. At the same time, a sense of lightness and ease, a little bit of comfort, which means we might need to modify the pose. Can't be all Sthira. We need a balance. That's where sometimes it's good to use props, or, for example, release that hand to the hip. All right, let's work into Dancing Warrior. So inhale, turn that left palm over, and then exhale, windmill the arms backwards. Breathe. Good, and then inhale back into Warrior 2. And release. Let's turn the legs around. Take a breath. And then inhale. Let's raise the arms, turn to the right, and bending that right leg. So again, option to rest that back hand on the hip or both hands. Imagine someone's gently tugging you back by the left wrist. Shoulders are relaxing, softening down. Good, and then inhale, turn that right palm up. Exhale, windmill the arms backwards, Dancing Warrior. And breathe. Inhale back into warrior two and exhale. And let's release those legs, a bit of a shake. And then we're going to come to lie down on our backs with the feet stepped up close to the buttocks. And if you've got a block or book, have that close to you. But first of all, just resting for a moment in a semi-supine position. Make sure that your head, neck and spine are in a straight line. And you might like to sigh the breath away 2 or 3 times. Just allowing the ground to hold you here as you give in and let go a little. Okay, so I thought we might, in a moment, work with bridge. Some of you might have already worked with it earlier in the practice. And if you have got a block or a book, I thought we'd try placing it between our inner knees. So we've got to squeeze our legs towards each other to hold that block or book in place. Arms are down alongside our hips. Tuck the chin forward. Exhale all breath here. And when we're ready, inhaling, we start to slowly lift up, pressing into the feet, tips of the shoulders, the palms, squeezing the inner knees towards each other. And as we exhale, we lower back down, rolling one vertebra at a time. Inhaling, lifting up. And exhaling, lowers us down. So again, work with your own breath, looking for the qualities of dirgha and suksmah in the breath. So allow the breath to be long and deep, but also smooth and calm. Listen to your breath. What does the breath have to tell you in this moment? Now you can continue working dynamically with bridge, or the next time you lift up, you might like to hold bridge and interlace the fingers under the body. Just wriggle from side to side. See if you can tuck the shoulders in underneath. And we might choose to stay here for 3 to 5 breaths, perhaps even a little bit longer if you're really happy here. Make sure you're not holding the breath. When you've had enough, there's no rush. You'll slowly release the hands, lower yourself down, remove the block or the book, bring the knees into the chest, cross your legs at the ankles, and let's make some little circles on the mat. Good. And then cross the legs the other way, circling in the opposite direction. You can continue working with this or move into happy baby. So you take the legs wide, either holding the outer edges of the lower legs or the outsides of your feet or your big toes. Working to draw the knees down towards the floor, soles of the feet pointing up towards the sky. Make sure the chin isn't jutting up. So tuck the chin down, back of the neck long. Good. Just bring the knees in together, perhaps a little rock from side to side. And then keep a hold of that right leg and just stretch the left leg away. As we inhale, let's point the left toes, raise that left leg up, flex the foot. And as we exhale, slowly lower that leg down. We're going to do 4 more of these. So pointing, inhale, raise the leg, flex, and lower. When you finish that 5th one, just let the left heel touch the mat. Place your right foot on the left thigh. We're moving into a twist. So left hand to the outer edge of the right knee, right arm at shoulder height. And as we exhale, we're carrying that knee across the body. Head can either stay in a neutral position or you may turn to look towards your right fingers. Slowly come back to center. Give that right knee a hug and a squeeze. And then let's swap sides. So straighten the right leg, draw the left knee in, point the right toes. Inhale, take the right leg up and flex and lower. So 4 more of these. Finish, let the right heel touch down. Left foot on your right thigh, right hand to the outer edge of the knee, left arm out to shoulder height. And as we exhale, we're carrying that knee across the body. Head may turn to the left. Slowly come back to center. Give that knee a hug. And stretch the left leg along the mat. Give the body a little bit of a shake. You might sigh the breath away. And let's come back to our chant, Shanti here. So we're going to, in a moment, raise the arms overhead. And as we lower them back down, we'll chant. So we'll do 5 of these. Exhale all breath. Breathing in. Three more. Take breath. And then we'll set ourselves up for relaxation. So just gather whatever you need to be comfortable and warm, and I'll come up closer to you again. I'd like to sigh the breath away 2 or 3 times, perhaps even making an audible sighing sound, or exhaling through pursed lips. And feeling your connection now with Mother Earth beneath you, holding you, supporting you, and at the same time be aware of the sky above you, offering a feeling of space and hope and expansion and possibility. Let yourself drop into the body, becoming aware of what's going on inside of you right now. All bodily sensations, acknowledging these, welcoming these sensations, perhaps perhaps saying to yourself, this too, this too, this too. Allowing everything to slow down, to become a little quieter, a little calmer, more peaceful. For the next minute or so, you might like to work with a breath ratio to help you relax. Inhaling for the count of 4 and exhaling for the count of 8. Breathing in 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In, out. Inhaling, exhaling. So a couple more rounds in this way. And just release the practice and give yourself permission to rest deeply, peacefully. As I share with you some words from a yoga teacher called Rima Rabath regarding the qualities of Sthira and sukham. Together, the two words encourage us to be in a state of grace and firmness that lead to balance. Sukham also means toward the sky. And so it creates a sense of living in the world by being grounded and connected to the earth, while simultaneously relaxing us to the possibility of a celestial force operating within us, our pure potential. This is our natural state, reflected to us by our surroundings. We see this Sthira sukham in nature. It's in the trees that are rooted into the earth, but are extending up towards the sky. We see it in the way a bird will pause on a branch before it takes flight. When we walk in the world with Sthira sukham, we become like the women of ancient Egypt, who would walk great distances with buckets of water on their heads, never spilling a drop. It is a recognition that we are carrying something pure and healing within us. And so we must move steadily and easily so as to honor it and not let it go to waste. If we can find this steadiness and ease in our minds and our bodies, the people around us will also benefit. Yoga is not about retreating to a cave. It is more about finding our seat in the world. This is our last word of the verse, asana, which means seat. We trust that our yoga is not for us alone. It is about being in the world and taking our place in that world. Whatever we do to elevate ourselves and be joyful and balanced will be inspiring and contagious to those that share the world with us. So just start now to deepen the breath and bring a little bit of movement into your fingers and toes. Have a bit of a stretch. And then you can carefully roll over to one side. Of course, you can remain lying down if you're happy to and you'd like to. Otherwise, we'll take our time to quietly come up to sit. And I thought we would close our practice this morning by chanting Om Shanti 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 3 times. So if you'd like to join with me, we'll bring the hands together at the heart. Exhaling all breath. Breathing in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Thanks for joining me this morning. Have a lovely day and see you soon. Lots of love.